Just a couple bad weather fans representing New York, talking all things sports. Man, what could go wrong? We got Alex, who's a fan of the Knicks, and Mike of the Nets. The yin-yang of the tri-state, place your bets on the Yankees, Giants, Mets, or Jets. Yeah, you should listen if it's sparking your interest. If you made a vow to your team, don't break it. Bad weather fans is the relation.
That's right. This is Bad Weather Fans, episode number 162. Mike Biseglia, Alex Benezowitz, and things are getting fun here in the Eastern Conference. The Brooklyn Nets are the 5 seed. The New York Knicks are the 6 seed. After a wild couple of weeks, Knicks on a little bit of a losing streak. They get the big win, of course, in LA versus the Lakers on a back-to-back, while the Brooklyn Nets are rolling 5-1 in their last 6, and they have now propelled past the Knicks in the standings as we are in the final stretch of the season. It's going to get good here in the NBA. It's going to get good here on Bad Weather Fans. Alex, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. We'll give everybody a little break from talking about Aaron Rodgers and the constant saga that's going on there. We'll touch on that a little bit later, but I'm doing great, man. Knicks hold serve in LA, which they needed that win. That Charlotte loss was looming large. And, we're kind of cruising now. So, Portland tomorrow and then Denver Saturday. So we needed that Lakers win bad. So happy there.
Yeah, I mean, it was surprising too, because we all know the Knicks clinched the 5 seed last week. So it was crazy to see the Nets catapult them in the standings. Nets staying relevant with wins, Nets big wins in Denver's tough. Nuggets, I know, on a 3-game losing streak now, but to go into Denver, get the win. Nets playing good basketball, a team that had an atrocious defensive rating. Now in the last 6 have the best defensive rating in the NBA, and they've turned a corner. Clearly they have. They faced the Knicks a couple weeks ago at their lowest point, the Knicks at their highest point, and the Nets now playing better basketball have overtaken the Knicks in the standings, which is just, I think, and you can speak to this better than me because you root for them, I think has been a shock in the system for Knicks fans who, well-deserved, felt good about their team. 9-game winning streak, 2 wins in Boston, destroyed the Nets. Knicks fan feeling good. It must have been kind of a surreal experience to all of a sudden go, we're still behind them in the standings, even with all of the proclamations. And not you, but it had to have been tough for Knicks fans, regardless of what happens, to see themselves look up and see a team without Kevin Durant, without Kyrie Irving, that dealt away their 2 Hall of Fame players, still behind the Nets. Must have been weird to see.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Knicks lead the league in being back. They've been back, so many times. So they lead the league in that. So that helps with their playoff seeding. It's also been nice because, that 9-game winning streak, like you said, rose them up. But Knicks fans got a little cocky. They got a little excited not me though. I stayed even keel. You remember, I was like,
you did.
All right, we're never as good as our winning streaks, as high as our highs, and never as bad as our lows. And because I know this team is not going far, but it was also exciting to watch them win. I mean, I was rooting like they were playoff games when they were playing during that streak, and that Celtics game was crazy, and the Heat game was nuts too. It's just all been, it's crazy, and it was fun. But yeah, the Nets have taken, they're pretty much even, like you said, but the Nets are above by percentage points. And the Nets are riding still on the coattails of Durant, still this season. It's like the second part of their season, the second season within the season. So it's kind of like, you can't be like, oh, they're better. It's just kind of like, well, we're riding that, what's their record since Durant's been gone? Is it, obviously it's over 500, but it's
probably about 500 when it's all said and done. But what do you mean riding on the you mean being at the
of the record of the record? Because they were so high up. They were like, what was their record when they were gone?
Well, here's the problem. Yeah. They were high up. Durant got hurt. They dropped.
Right.
And then the Nets now
but he never played again
settled
them,
in.
So,
now, if you're going to talk about the 18-2 Nets, sure. But the new iteration of the Nets have played really well together.
Yeah.
And I don't Did they get a head start because of that team? Yes, but because Durant was hurt. Remember, when they traded Kevin Durant and they traded Kyrie Irving, it wasn't like this was the Nets team that was rolling. They were kind of stumbling and bumbling, and the Nets, I sound like Walcott Frazier, the Nets were hoping, to get Kevin Durant back, stay above water, and let's see what this team becomes. But no, I would disagree completely to say they were riding on the coattails of it. This was a team that was without him because he was hurt, and they were trying to stay above water. Then Kyrie dipped away, and they didn't have him for a couple of games. Then they made the trades, and they played okay. Then they played terribly, and now they're playing very good basketball again. So I would disagree that they're riding on that. They're 5-1 in their last 6. Their only loss comes against the Milwaukee Bucks, where they played nobody, and they should have won that game, and it was disappointing that they lost. I think the Nets are actually a good basketball team from my eye test. They go into Denver and beat the Nuggets, and they go in and beat, top 2 MVP guy, and Nikola Jokic. I disagree completely that they're riding off the coattails. I think the Nets are a good basketball team. I think it's very difficult for a Knicks fan to say the Nets are good because they're doing it without Durant and Kyrie Irving, and the self-proclamation of the Knicks muscles being, this is our town, this is our city. I think it's extremely difficult for a Knicks fan to sit back and be like, holy shit, the Nets might actually be decent again, even if us as the Knicks are good too.
Well, they're the same team. They're essentially the same team right now. They're a very, very good team, not great. That's not going anywhere. And they're the same exact team. The Knicks have the better player in Brunson. Mikal Bridges is pretty damn good. It's just like what, they both have a lot of glue guys, you know what I mean? And they're doing, they're okay. And the Nets are okay, but they don't have a lot of players on the team that you can hate. We talked about this Robin Lundberg last week. There's nobody on the Nets where Knicks fans are like, oh, fuck that guy. Well, Dinwiddie is the one guy, but it's been a while.
It's all relative now compared to the rest of. Yeah, I get you on that.
It's there's no like passion because there was so much passion against the Kyrie Durant Nets because of all the stuff that was like the Nets got these guys. What did the Knicks get? The Nets did this. What about the Knicks? It's just like, why are you mentioning us? Just praise the Nets. You know what I mean? So it became like this rival butting heads.
But there was Alex. There was a vibe with Knicks fans, and there still might be. Like in my opinion, they've clinched the 5 seed, so I know their Cavs series is going to be great. But I'm just saying there was a proclamation about how well they're playing, and that the Nets have now taken a step back. There has been no recognition that the Nets might actually be decent because they don't have KD and they don't have Kyrie. And let me say this. There's a track record, right, of when Kyrie Irving leaves teams for those teams to actually get better. The Cavs, the Celtics. Could it be so crazy that maybe the Nets, in dealing Kevin Durant and dealing Kyrie Irving, actually got themselves better? And I'll go out on a limb and say this. The Nets last year lost in a sweep to the Celtics 4-0 in the 2-7 seed. If they're the 3-6, because the Knicks are the 5 and they're playing the Cavs, they might get to the 4 seed. But if the Nets are the 6 seed, and they're going to play the Sixers as the 6-3. If the Nets win one game, they've already outdone last year. And I wouldn't be too crazy to say as the 3-6, I'd have more faith in this Nets team. I'm not saying to win a series, but to get a win versus the Sixers when the Knicks are the 5-4. I'd be confident in saying that the Nets at the 6 seed would get a win. It would actually be better than last year.
But it's not really better than last year because you haven't seen this team in a full season. So you're, like I said, you're still got 30 wins from Durant and Kyrie. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, well, we reached the pinnacle of what we had last year without them, because you wouldn't have gotten there without them. Like the whole thing with when I defended Kyrie a couple of years ago and he was on the Celtics, how, the Celtics got to the Eastern Conference Finals without him. It's like, well, they were the 1 seed or the 2 seed with him. If they didn't have him to get that, they wouldn't have rode and beaten these bad teams in the first 2 rounds to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, these young Celtics at the time. So it's kind of like that right now, but they're not up at the top part of the conference. So beating a team like the 6th, whatever. You get
Well, I appreciate you saying that because, 2 weeks ago when we did the podcast, you were saying Nets aren't fun. Now you're saying they're just like last year's Nets. So at least they've accomplished something.
I didn't say
that. They've gone from no, they're not that not good like and condescending Nets. Now to, well, at least they're fun the Nets are fun, right?
I didn't
Like
say
the
they were
Nets.
fun.
I mean, you had some tweets where you said it. I mean, the Nets have gotten to a place
like
now.
Sarcastically, yes. Sarcastically, yeah.
It's public record, and the Nets have gotten to a place now. You can say they built on this, they built on that, but the Nets are getting to a place where they're winning basketball games. And I will say this publicly: if the Knicks do not have a better record than the Nets when the regular season is over, it won't be an embarrassment to the Knicks because they don't care. It would be an embarrassment to the fan base of the Knicks if they cannot beat the Nets in the regular season after everything that has happened to the Nets this season. And this being the Knicks on paper, they're either arguably their second or third best season in 20 years. If they can't beat the Nets after the Nets had the biggest turmoil and shitstorm maybe in NBA history, it would be a complete and utter embarrassment to the fan base.
I don't think so because of what I said, because the Nets had Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and they were riding high. They were a top 3 seed. And now since they've gotten these guys, we got to look up their record since they've gotten these guys. So it's not like that. If next year the Knicks do nothing to really improve, and then, the Nets to have the same team, and it's like that.
Pushing those goalposts.
I'm not pushing any goalposts. It's a fact. Okay, what was the record with Durant and Kyrie? Let's look it up. What is the Nets record since they
pushing them,
traded?
Alex? Pushing them out. If the Knicks end up with a worse season than the Nets after everything and all the shit talking, it would be an embarrassment to the fan base.
When did the Nets trade Kevin Durant? What date?
They traded Kevin Durant.
February 9th.
It was in the middle of the night. I was crying and weeping and sad beyond belief. And then, all you want, I guess, when do you want to base it on? Like when they were full and the Durant
this new team.
So the first game they were all together. What was it? Was it this? I don't think it was the Sixer game yet.
So were they all together on the Knicks game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they were all together.
Since that game, they are, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses. So 500. So they're a 500 basketball team since the trade, since the Durant trade. And at one point in the season, they were 25-12.
But we're talking about post-Durant injury.
I'm just saying it at their highest point this year. I'm looking at it right now. So they're 25-12 or 27-13.
But Alex, we're not talking about right now. We're talking about when the season ends. I'm not talking about this second. Right now, but
my point is that it's not an embarrassment to the Knicks because the Nets inflated their record with these 2 stars that couldn't wait to get out of there, and now they're like just riding 500. So it's like they were 27-13, and now they're 39-29. So it's not like they're like dominating without these guys, and they're so much better.
If after the showboating and the excitement from the Knicks after catapulting the Nets, if the Nets then with the team that lost 2 Hall of Fame players, then went back. So you could say that. So we'll even start it with your argument. I'd love to start it with your argument. Let's pretend that the Nets and Knicks started the season at an even plateau when the All-Star break occurred, and the Knicks went ahead. And now if the Nets were able to jump back with the because you got to remember when they hit the All-Star break, it was about when the deadline happened. So this is the new teams. If the Nets with the new Nets then ended up catapulting against Jalen Brunson, who's an All-NBA player, Julius Randle, who's an all-star, and the Nets went ahead of that Knicks team, that would be a failure and embarrassment to your fans. It would be complete. I'm telling you right now,
ever since the All-Star break, you want to hear the Knicks record since then?
If the fan base, I'll tell you that. The fan base of the Knicks, if I said to the Knicks fan base that you're going to end up below the Nets after your 9-game winning streak, and I heard Knicks fans talk about how this team can go to an Eastern Conference Finals.
See, that's the thing. It's not me. I wasn't saying that. That's what I'm saying.
I'm talking to all of the Knicks fans that listen to this show, and I'm sure are sitting there on their phones right now trying to tweet me at something to get back at me. I'm telling you right now, if your team ends up below the Nets, it's a complete embarrassment to you and your fans.
I mean, I don't think so, but that's okay. That's for some people who talked a lot of shit during the winning streak. That's fine. That's for them, because I was not. I was very, very chill about it. I'm like, this is fun. Let's ride it out. Let's see what happens. And then sure enough, Brunson got hurt. Randle goes back to Randle. He's obviously those mental hurdles that he said he got over this year, that it's been so much easier this year. It was really just Jalen Brunson because he's the same guy he was last year before Jalen Brunson. It is what it is. I mean, this team is just, it's got a cap on it, and we'll see what happens. And you know, what's great is that they have that Mavericks pick, the Porzingis trade, that the gift that keeps on giving, where that trade that they quote unquote lost, you know, is crazy. Now they have that Mavericks pick, and Kyrie Irving is out again. He's injured or personal reasons, whatever it is. Doncic is hurt too. So it's just like that pick that the Knicks have, that's I think just top 10 protected, might be in the lottery because the Mavericks are in the play-in right now, and they might not even make the play-in tournament at the way they're going. And that's why when Kyrie got traded to the Mavericks, everybody's like, oh, now the Mavericks are going to take off. Like, no, they're not. How many examples do we need of Kyrie Irving torpedoing franchises before we start giving blind faith into him going to an organization and taking them to the next level? It's not going to happen anymore.
Think about this Dallas team that went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yep.
And you take away Brunson, who's playing all NBA level for the Knicks. You take away Dorian Finney-Smith, you take away Dinwiddie, and you basically package that for Irving. They're so not as good.
No.
That trade
took away all the depth.
Everything. It
was all built around Luka. It was the whole team was revolving around the guy that needed to revolve around. You know,
and it is funny as a Net fan when it was like everything that happened in the last week where Durant got hurt on a freak play in practice, warm-ups,
yeah.
Freak play. Yeah. Kyrie Irving.
He didn't slip on water, by the way. They said he slipped on water. There was no water.
I'm just saying it's a freak play. You want to say there's
it was
water,
freak. Yes.
There's not water. That's something that doesn't happen all the time.
No.
But Durant's out. In the same week, Kyrie Irving goes on TikTok or whatever and does an hour rant. Agree or disagree? I don't even give a fuck about what, I don't care. My point
shut
is,
the fuck up, right?
The next day, he's out.
Yeah.
And it was just like,
from
a net perspective, seeing that happen, and then Nets Twitter tonight putting a photo of Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Edmund Sumner, I forget who was the fourth guy, going to see Creed 3. And I'm just like,
I love you guys. Yes.
I mean, it's just like so different.
We're back.
Mikal Bridges with his Instagram photo saying, what was it? I really like it here. Yeah. Just like, it was just peace. It was just peace. And
it was nice.
Winning basketball without that has, they're not going to win a title. And they're going to play the Sixers in the first round as the 6-3. But it was just nice to see.
It's nice. Like what I said when Kyrie was gone, and you had your team back. You were able to just root for them with a clear conscience and just be happy. And it's just, one thing I wanted to bring up was Nets fans calling Sean Marks a genius for getting Mikal Bridges. He's a genius. It's not. This kind of stuff bothers me because you got Mikal Bridges because Durant wanted the Suns and they weren't trading Paul. Like the Nets didn't want Paul for obvious reasons, but they weren't trading Booker or Ayton. So you got Bridges because he was the next best thing. If Durant wanted Portland, they would have gotten everybody underneath Dame. You know what I mean? So it just would have been like that. It's careful, like throwing that word around because people do it with Sam Presti all the time with the Thunder. The guy, look at all the picks he has. Look at all these players he has. Yeah, well, you traded Kevin. Well, you technically traded Kevin Durant. He left. You traded Russell Westbrook and MVP. You traded James Harden. You traded Paul George. Of course, you have a million fucking picks. What else? If you didn't have that, then you wouldn't have a job. So careful throwing that around. You got Mikal Bridges because Durant wanted Phoenix. Well, but it's good to have him, sure. But it was because he was the best option you can get, plus the 4 picks.
It's funny you say that because so many Net fans, the Nets fans I see on Twitter despise Sean Marks, hate him.
I've seen a few
because him and Joe Tsai destroyed the franchise.
Oh, of course. It had nothing to do with Kyrie. Yeah, nothing to do with him.
Where Kevin Sean Marks made mistakes was like not finding vets to fill roles that did a good job, or not getting a backup center, or letting Jeff Green go and then bringing in Patty Mills.
But we also don't know how much of that was they deferred too much to Durant and Kyrie of, are you okay with this guy? 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 Which is their fault too in turns, but it's like, whose fault is it really? And
Sean Marks hasn't been a perfect GM by any stretch, and Joe Tsai has been a bad owner on a lot of occasions. But if you're this all stems back to Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant having no soul to wanting to take it on his own. So I agree with you completely. Now, I agree with you. And I think right now the Nets are looking good because they got Mikal Bridges, they got Cam Johnson, and they got the 4 picks.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, that trade looks like something you would want, especially if Mikal's going to play this good and average 26 a game and be the best Villanova star in New York. I mean, that's that kind of play. And you could, and I say that tongue in cheek because clearly this year, and I've said it, Jalen Brunson has been out of his mind. I think he's going to be like a all NBA third team or something, possibly.
Right.
But as you've said before, doesn't mean that Mikal Bridges can't be the better pro. Bridges was the 10th pick in the draft. They're 26. They're probably both around the same age. The two best. If we were going to do our redraft, I would take Bridges over Randle right now, and I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I didn't want Randle. I think, who did I take second? Did I take Bridges? I think I took Bridges. Oh no, I forgot about Bridges.
You took Barrett, I think.
I took Barrett because I forgot about Bridges.
You love him.
Sorted. Yeah, I messed that up.
Now,
but either way, if with the Knicks, honestly, they need to win this game in Portland. Like, you really do. It's another.
But they clinched the 5 seed, Alex. Calm down.
No, but they really do need to win. The return of Cam Reddish versus Thibs, that's going to be fun. That big matchup with Cam Reddish is already taking shots at Thibs of saying things like, it was personal. It wasn't about basketball. I was scared to miss a shot. I would be pulled. It's all stuff we knew, as if you're paying attention to the Knicks, that Thibs was making personnel decisions based on his feelings and not basketball wise. And he just put that on paper. And I tweeted this out too, also at Knicks Central on Twitter, that if you think what Cam Reddish had to say was bad, wait until Obi Toppin is traded and he opens up about Thibs, because then you're really going to hear some shit, because he really is derailing his career right now. I know Obi might not be that good, but he hasn't had a chance. And every time he has a chance, he's dropping over 20 points a game when he has a chance, when he's comfortable and knows he's not getting yanked out the second he makes a mistake. So it's tough because I want to root for Obi, but it's also tough because they're winning. So it's just weird. It's a weird situation, but I would still deal Randle at the end of the year. I'm rambling right now. Either way, beat Portland. And then we got Denver at home, which is going to be very, very difficult after about a 4-day break from coming back east. So they play Tuesday, then they play Saturday in a day. And the day games are always weird, and Denver is no joke. So whatever. Win tonight, win tomorrow.
They are no joke. That's going into Denver, getting a win.
Almost blew it, though. Almost blew it.
Almost blew it. Sure, but they won the game. Who cares?
I know they did, but they were up 13 in the fourth and mid fourth, and then they lost.
Fuck off. This team is going into Denver, built a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. They held on for a win. It's results business. They get a win. You gonna tell me that
they almost blew it? They almost blew it.
What if Julius Randle doesn't make a miracle 3 versus Miami? Okay, like the Miami. Of course. Game. What if Jason Tatum makes shots? That's basketball.
But that wasn't. It's not basketball when you could have lost the game on a game-winning shot.
I've been through so much bullshit with the Nets.
Yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and say they almost lost the game.
They did.
They won the game in Denver, which is an extremely hard place to play.
It is.
The Nuggets were 30-5. Okay,
it is
30-5 at home. The Nets go in there and
fucking
win.
Awesome, man.
Break. That's a great win.
I want the Nuggets to win, just make a run, because it's just time for them to make a run. It's time for Jokic to make a run. It's time for all that to happen for him. He's might win his third MVP. He'll probably go to Embiid because they don't want to vote for him again. But it's one of those situations where it's time for him to win. Jamal Murray's healthy.
He missed that shot at the end. He missed the shot.
And you texted me. You said that shot felt like it was in the air for an hour.
It did. It did. I was standing there with my dad. We were watching the ball. I was like, no. Can I say something honestly, else? Go ahead.
He's the funniest guy to watch play because he seems like he's so out of control, and then all of a sudden he just does like over the shoulder, boom, perfect pass, the guy for a 3, wide open, out of control. It's money. The shot. You're like, what? How is this possible?
He killed the Nets on the glass, but.
Yeah, that's why you can't guard him, because he doesn't know what he's doing either.
Hey, the Nets did great. Nick Claxton was awesome. He was 8 of 9 for the field. He had 20 points. This is something that bothers me about Thibs. This really got on my nerves, Alex.
Yes.
The end of the game versus the Lakers. You're playing Hardenstein when you've got a top 5 center in the NBA on the bench. What the fuck's that about?
I never said that.
I'm just saying.
I disagree.
I've heard from Knicks fans that they have a top 5 center in the NBA, but you can't play him in clutch time. That's something on the coach.
That was. I'm not going to go there. That was bad. That was a bad take all around. The people know, who had said it, but that was bad. But he's a top 5 defensive center. You want to say that? Sure. But top 5 center, I can name 10 guys off the top of my head that are better than Mitchell Robinson.
Okay.
But that's not me. Again, so you're arguing with other people, not me. So I never.
This is my platform, man, and I'm not good enough on. I'm not good enough on Twitter to go after people or know what to say. I'm going to do
worth it anymore. I'm just not going after people who are like, say things like that or do other things like, watermark or rest in peace. I'm not doing that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Let that stuff go. Sometimes I do when I really when I'm in a mood, but most of the times I'm scrolling by. But it is what it is.
You said there was a net question you had for me.
Yeah, I'd said it already. The Mikal Bridges thing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it. No, that's a fair. I agree with you on that point. I have a Your tweet annoyed me tonight. Can I bring it up?
Yeah, sure. It's your show, right. Mike. It's our show.
It's not my show. It's definitely not my show. Stop with that. That annoys me. But you did have a tweet. So at Brooklyn Netcast tweeted, the NBA keeps taking the Brooklyn Nets off of national television, and it makes no sense. They are playing very good basketball, are in a large market, and simply are a very likable, entertaining team. I took a screenshot of somebody else that quoted that tweet and not yours. Hang tight.
So I said, Nets fans getting a dose of reality that they were only popular and on national TV because of the stars, not because of the team. It's why the Knicks can be worse than the Nets in the standings and get on national TV. So stay in your lane. That's what I said.
I agree with everything you said, minus the last line. The last line is what bothered me. I agree with the first part and the second part. The stay in your lane part bothered me. Everything else I agree with.
It's the person I'm responding to, because it's just that kind of account that just aggregates and just goes with the flow of whatever's happening. And they're just so, we love these guys. They're not going anywhere. And then they're gone. And like, oh, we hate these guys. It's just like, come on, man, just have an opinion, natural opinion. So I just want to sun him whenever I can.
I get you. What bothered me about the stay in your lane.
Yeah.
What bothered me about the stay in your lane part would be like, if a Net fan said, I think we're getting Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving in the offseason. Now, did it work out? No, obviously not. But at the time, if you were to say that and a Knicks fan responded with, you don't get stars. Okay, fine. We don't.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. The stay in your lane part, I feel like minimizes Net fans having a voice. And that's what annoyed me. You're right in your opinion. You have every right to believe in the idea that the Knicks are going to get more attention nationally, even if they are worse in the standings, as you pointed out. I agree. The Knicks have been around since the Titanic. I understand. They've been here forever. So they're going to have a little more. They have a bigger base and national brands. I get that. With the Nets not having the stars.
Yeah.
But the stay in your lane part minimizes that Net fans can have a voice and feel like they can. It almost is like, you have a problem when Net fans voice an opinion that puts the Knicks back. And that's the part that annoyed me.
Well, I just want to explain it to them and understand.
But they get it.
I'm teaching here. I'm just teaching. I'm letting them know of the things that. And you know what, Mike? I have a song for you for that. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have another song. But it's just it's one of those things. That's a Twitter thing, just trying to needle that guy because he's just one of those accounts that it's just. Those accounts that just is always taking the positive spin on everything. There's a lot of Nick accounts like that too. And it's just, they're always taking the positive spin of everything. And that's why I tweet out that excuse tweet the other day where I said, these are the excuses that are going to happen for the Knicks games. And Brunson's hurt and they're a tough matchup. And it's just every game has a built-in excuse already. Oh, Dame's just that good. It's just sometimes you get your ass kicked. That's it. You just lose.
Like the Nets and the Knicks last week or 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like the Knicks in the playoffs versus the Hawks. They just got their ass kicked. It just is what it is. The Celtics kicked the Nets ass in the playoffs last year. That's it. It just happens. It's just what it is. Sometimes you have to be like, not like, oh, well, this happened. Blame the refs. It was this guy's fault. It's that guy's fault. It's just, come on. It's not like if it was Game 7 and it was down to the last, let's like the Super Bowl and then that holding penalty and that ends the game. It might have been a holding. You probably shouldn't call it there. That's a reason to be mad at that one moment that ended the game. But at the same time, there's a lot of plays in the game that happen. And sometimes you just lose, and you got to be in a position to get breaks. Like Branch Rickey always says, luck is the residue of design, Mike. Luck is the residue of design.
And Nikola Jokic missing 3 turnaround. Mike Conley missing baseline shot. Nets getting wins. I'm not going to feel guilty about it. They've had so
by
many
almost
bad,
blowing it. You shouldn't feel guilty by almost
so many bad
because you
losses.
won. That's it.
When it's all said and done, and we're doing this later, the Nets won in Denver. And that's tough to do, man. That's tough to do, right? You know,
it is very tough to do. And rest in peace to Felton Spencer, a very long time NBA player. You know,
crazy.
Very sad to see.
Crazy. I remember
55.
Young
Nick.
man.
Yeah,
I remember him playing. No, that's tough to see.
He was always a fun player to play with in video games because he just had that kind of name that was like a funny kind of Felton. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's his first name. It was always kind of funny. Me and my friends, it was like, oh no, Felton Spencer died. It was one of those kind of things, you know, sad.
Heat.
What's
Heat one? Oh, go.
The Heat
go
one. Yes, the Heat one. I was going to change completely. Heat one. Yeah, that's
sucks for both of us.
Sucks for both of us.
Even though you clinched the 5.
Lost. Hawks lost, so that's good. Get some space from the 8. You know, let the 8 seed lower. 7 seed is the Heat. Knicks are 6. Nets are 5. So
I have a weird feeling, Alex, that last week, Knicks, Nets, Heat, you could totally see this. Some form of like the 3 of them playing for the 2 last to get in, and some weird combination of games.
Yeah,
I do not want to be in that play-in game.
So, wow. So, Knicks can clinch the season series in the tiebreaker with a win versus the Heat. I think next week they play the Heat.
And they have the Nets, like I think the Nets night. It's a big little stretch.
Oh, they play the Nets tonight? Oh, tomorrow.
No, the next night.
The next night.
After the Heat. I think Heat Knicks. I think Nets Heat are like the next game after. It's really close.
Yeah, we're getting to the end. It's crazy how there's not a lot of games left. But wait, should the Knicks play? Hold on, let's see. Let me pull it up. So you got the Knicks play the Heat only one more time. So so they already have the tiebreaker. Then never mind. So that was wrong about that. I thought they played them 4 times this year. I guess only 3. So that makes sense. Oh wait, am I wrong? Wait, am I crazy? Miami. Oh, they play them 2 more times. Oh wow. Okay, so all right, yeah. Because I'm like, why? I only saw 1 more Miami. I'm sorry about that. I saw Houston was right before Miami. I saw the Red. My bad. So yeah. So this game against the Heat on at Miami, March 22nd, could be the tiebreaker, which can help the Knicks stay out of the play-in tournament completely. That's a huge game, you know. So let's keep winning, so we don't have to worry about those tiebreakers because nothing's guaranteed in life, Mike. Nothing is guaranteed. So
what's your where are you on the Knicks championship-o-meter right now? You were at 2 last week.
Still a 2. Keeping it there.
Where are you on the net one?
0. -0.
So Knicks got a 2, Nets got a 0. Who do you think's better?
The Knicks are better. And Brunson's healthy, the Knicks are better. Brunson's healthy. It's all about Brunson. He's the key because Brunson right now, without him, you see the team it's the same team as last year, just with Josh Hart and Hartenstein. You know, they're literally the exact same team.
You know what the best part of this is? I'll agree with you. I'll say you're right.
Yeah.
And the Nets will just keep winning.
You know what it is?
It'll just be both fun.
The Knicks and the Nets are the quintessential NBA regular season team. They're going to play hard every night. They're going to be good in the regular season. And then when they come to the playoffs, they're going to get smacked in the mouth because that's when the big boys start playing for real all the time. And you don't have the pushovers like I'm going to say Charlotte when the Knicks just lost to Charlotte. But you don't have the pushovers or the teams that get lazy and they're like, you know, don't give it their all. They're like, oh shit, we got to play them before they wake up. The game's over, you know? So there's a lot of nights like that in the NBA, and players will admit that too. I'm not just making that up. So these are the 2 teams that are really big regular season teams, like the Knicks were 2 years ago when they got the 4 seed.
Yeah, I would say for the Nets, you know, it's funny because their defensive rating, right, has switched in the last. They're playing great defense, and that's why they're winning games. But you could see in that Nuggets game when it got to crunch time, they had a hard time scoring. Dinwiddie had the baseline jumper. Dorian Finney-Smith had a big 3-point shot on one of the 3-point shot, but you can see the Nets without Kyrie, without Durant in a big spot towards the end, don't have the luxury of like, you got a superstar, you can get a basket.
Right. That's why they almost blew it.
That's where the Nets, they don't have that. They don't have that. They're playing great defense, but does Mikal Bridges become that? And right now it's Spencer Dinwiddie who's taking that role, and I know he pisses off a lot of Net fans.
Dinwiddie does?
Totally.
Oh, because he's
got
always
he's got some Julius Randle annoyance.
Got it.
Where he's like taking too many shots, ball dominant, not making the play, even though he had a career high 16 assists in the last game. But there's a lot of like dribble, chuck. There's a lot of similarities between the two when you look at annoyance from the fan base.
Yeah, well, what's funny is that there's a lot of fans that are really have Julius Randle's back right now, which is funny to me. So I mean, listen, I have his back. He's a Knick. I want the Knicks to win, so I'll always root for Julius Randle to be successful. But I don't trust him, and I would still trade him. And I'm not going to let a few months blind me from the bigger picture. And I want them to win playoff games. I might go to a playoff game and have a great time, yell, scream, lose my voice, have a great time. But at the same time, I still will think what I think about Thibs and about Randle. You know, a senior citizen coach and a player that's never going to take you to the promised land. You might as well get out from under that right away.
Not playing the top 5 NBA center is still, to me, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
You're going to get me in trouble, Mike. You're going to get me in trouble.
I'm not getting you in trouble. I'm just saying you have that kind of guy on your team, you play him. That's my opinion. You have Joel Embiid on your team. You think he's not playing minutes? I'm sorry, he is. He's a top 5 center. Whatever. I'm not. Whatever. That's between me and Thibs. You have a poll question?
I do not. I actually have a question for you, though. Jets getting Aaron Rodgers? Yes or no? We got to talk about it. Yes?
This could be dated by the time this comes out. But yeah, my gut is yes. You, obviously, I think, yeah.
I get it. I was getting to the point today where I was losing my shit, where I'm like, why isn't this done? Why isn't this done? Why isn't this done? At this point, the Jets need to grab their balls and make a deadline. But I think they're creating more space to just restructure John Franklin Myers too. So I think it's either Rodgers or Lamar Jackson. They got to create space for either one, because they can't walk out of this offseason without either one, because then everybody's going to get fired. And it's going to be at the end of the
next year.
Then
they're fucked.
That's over.
And then Mike White's winning a Super Bowl in Miami, and it's going to be a bad look. White.
Right. Carr's gone. Garoppolo's gone. Everybody's gone.
They're all gone.
You can't sell me on Tannehill, you know? Or
it would be an upgrade.
Ugh. It would be. But as a Dolphin, he's a Dolphin, and you can't bring in Tannehill. You know, he was on the Titans, but he was a Dolphin. You know what I'm saying? You see Tannehill walk in there, and he's not that good, and you just had Mike White. You could have just kept him. You know what I mean?
Tannehill's better than you're probably giving him credit for. I mean,
sure.
I mean,
it's just a bad
whatever,
look, man.
There's
no excitement.
It'd be depressing to go from a chance to have one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL to a guy that, you know, recaptured his career in Tennessee would be tough. And he would be, for the Jets, he would be an upgrade, but it would be like upgrading to mediocrity. And I think for Jet fans, that would be a tough pill to swallow after seeing, you know, the Kyrie Irving of the NFL available.
Well, also you could have had Carr, and you could have had other guys that are better, that are more established, you know, that can win, proven winners. You know, it's also, I forgot what it was. I think also the Jets, it might be something now that I've been thinking about it, that they might be gearing up with all this cap space. They got more than enough cap space for Aaron Rodgers, that it's the package deal. Something's coming with, like, Rodgers is going to sign, and then it's going to be Lazard and Thielen are going to come with him, and just it's going to be like then you have Garrett Wilson, and now you have this super team. But the problem is, and this is like, it's very like this Aaron Rodgers saga is very similar to Donovan Mitchell for me, where it's just like, you know, it's the longer this goes, the less likely it's going to happen. But the difference is, I really wanted Donovan Mitchell, and I don't really want Aaron Rodgers, because I don't think he's as good anymore as his name is. He didn't have a 300-yard passing game last year. I know he broke his finger. We have all these excuses. The team was terrible, but he was healthy at the end of the year, and he blew the game to Detroit. Whatever. He's going to be here. He's a clear upgrade, even at 38, 39 years old, you know, so we'll give it a shot, man, you know, but I want Lamar Jackson. I'm going to hold out hope until it's done, but it's probably not happening.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
that's been my number one from day one, Lamar Jackson.
The difference
on record. I'm on record with that.
The difference going from Wilson to Rodgers, I don't think you understand in the moment, if you get a motivated Aaron Rodgers, what you're getting. I really believe that you're going to get something that you have never seen before in your life. And I am a Giants fan, but I don't have the animosity towards the Jets. I'm like that Knicks fan that just like, I like the Nets. I don't care. I want him here. I think it'd be really fun for the area. I think it'd be really fun in general to see Rodgers on the Jets. And also the big difference too is you're talking about Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell had other options of places he was going. Right. Remember, Danny Ainge was leveraging other teams to get more picks, to get more this, and then he ended up in Cleveland. Aaron Rodgers is not going anywhere else. It's either, hey, I'm done, or hey, I'm a Jet. And I think from that standpoint, you don't have that fear of like, Jets didn't get the deal done. Oh no,
he's going to the Patriots.
He's going to the Patriots. He's going to the Texans. It's either he's going to the Jets or he's going to the cave. There's no in between.
Right. And he's not walking into Belichick after all that.
No, this is it. It's the Jets are the perfect team for him because he's got young talent. He can come there and win right away. It makes sense. The Jets lack a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is coming off one of his worst years of his career. He comes in motivated with the Jets. And this is where, if I'm a Jet fan, I'd feel good about this. Mm-hmm. When you have current Jet players doing YouTube videos saying, we want you here. One, that's a slap in the face at Zach Wilson. Such an insult. Your current quarterback's on the roster and you're already putting out videos about guys you want. That to me is a clear sign that it's time. I don't know how it's going to end. I don't know what's going to happen, but I can tell you right now, you're going to be thrilled when you're 5-1 and you're like,
of course,
we're not only are we relevant, we might be the most relevant team in the NFL. The Jets are going to be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
They're going to win games.
Yeah. I'm not a younger Jets fan, so I've seen that. I've seen them be good and then blow it. I've seen them get to the AFC Championship game. Yes. I want to win a fucking Super Bowl.
Well, so Alex, this gives you the best chance to do it.
Right, but it also...
give me an argument where there's somebody else that's a free agent where you have a better chance to win.
Lamar Jackson is the only other one.
But is it? Yeah. The guy's always injury prone. He doesn't throw the football down the field, and he hasn't been the same guy he was 3 years ago when he won the MVP. He's not the same player.
Well, they were 8-4 with him as a starter last year. So, like, I mean, you never know. I mean,
1 year. You're telling me next season. Now, you say long haul, Lamar Jackson's healthy. Yes, of course. I'll tell you that. But how can I have faith in Lamar Jackson living out that contract? I wouldn't. I mean, that to me is a tough pill to swallow, that he's going to be that good in 5-6 years. Lamar Jackson's not going to be in the NFL.
Yeah, but for me, Aaron Rodgers is so crazy and he's so Kyrie-esque.
I think the Nets and Kyrie Irving have sprinkled dust on you that's going to happen. What happened with Kyrie Irving, Alex, was so bad. And as somebody that lived it from day-to-day momentum, that's not happening. Okay. There might be Aaron Rodgers moments where he's not Aaron Rodgers. You can now, if you want to argue to me that you don't like what he's done on the field and that he's not the same player, you and I can.
Well, I don't think he is anymore. Okay. I don't think he is.
But if you think that he is not going to show, he always shows up. He's Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
Not correct. Does not show up, but there's not going to be a protest. But there's not going to be something that happens across the world where in your thought process, you're going, Aaron Rodgers might not play Sunday versus the Dolphins. That's not going to happen. Right. He's going to play.
Right. No, I agree. I just to be clear, I still think Aaron Rodgers is a very good quarterback. I still think he's in the top tier. I don't think he's Aaron Rodgers anymore. That's the point. And I think we're doing all this stuff. And it also depends on the trade. Are you trading the 13th pick in the draft this year? I hope not, because you need an offensive lineman because, you got Mekhi Becton who looks skinny, but he's always hurt, so you can't count on him. You got AVT got hurt last year too. He's awesome, but is he coming back healthy? You just lost the center. You know what I'm saying? It's just... There's so many questions on that offensive line that I don't care who's back there. They're going to get killed. So you need to shore up that line. You need that 13th pick to take one of these tackles. Yes. And then I got to see what that trade is. I really do. Because if you're trading some 2s and 3s and maybe a future first, okay. But I'm not giving up that 13th pick.
And I don't think they will. But again, you're so worried about that. What if Zach Wilson comes back and you shore up the offensive line? What does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
that's
matter.
the point. Yeah. But that's the point how the Jets have been botching this. They've backed themselves into this corner. But maybe, like that old famous Jets draft clip, maybe the Jets know something that everybody else doesn't know.
Man.
and that they know Aaron Rodgers, and they've been tight-lipped, and Aaron Rodgers said, just don't fucking say anything. Maybe he made his decision when he got out of the dark room and he's just trying to.
Maybe.
But like, what is taking so long is the point. And he's manipulating everybody. And that's what drives me crazy is that you're doing this on purpose, just be an asshole. And like that's true. It's not
he's
funny.
An asshole. He's an asshole. Alex,
know,
he's an asshole. But there's been assholes that have won Super Bowls, and I promise you, you won't care if in 3 months, well, however long it is, 18 months, 7 months, 2-7, 2-2, however many months it is when the next Super Bowl is, 11 months,
February, whatever it is.
Aaron Rodgers is holding that trophy, and he's going up there, and Jim Nantz is like, here's our Super Bowl MVP, Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers takes that trophy and he goes, I want to thank Bad Weather fans. And I want to thank Alex Benezowitz because you motivated me to win a Super Bowl.
Good.
You think you're going to go back to 162 and give a shit? Alex, that's going to be the best sports moment of your life.
Of course. I'll probably cry. I will probably cry
if
the Jets win. The Jets,
you should.
Jets and the Knicks are the most emotional. I love the Mets too. Don't get me wrong, but especially the Jets for me as a family thing. It was a family thing for me. The Jets is probably the most emotional connection. And the Mets too are very emotional, but the Jets over all three teams is probably the biggest emotional connection for me. So if they won, I would probably legit cry, especially losing my mom this year and everything. So there's a lot going on there. So I understand that, but at the same time, I don't know if he's good enough anymore to do that. And he's the kind of person who will just say, you know what, fuck this, I'm done. So I know he won't do that in the middle of the year, but it's just we're going through all this shit. And it better work out.
It's funny to me to connect all the Kyrie Irving stuff and the Nets because the Bad Weather Fans Nets podcast. I, as a Net fan, saw the worst in everything with Kyrie and Durant. It was just bad, right? Like there were some good wins, but I saw the worst in it all. And yet I would see that and say, take the chance. And you don't know stars in New York. You don't, but like as a Knicks fan, you don't know that. Here is somebody that could change the existence of your football fandom, and you're scared to make that leap. And I lost respect for you on that. I did.
No, that's fine. I'm looking to make the leap for somebody like Lamar Jackson. I'm looking to make that, give him all the guaranteed money, trade all the picks, get him over here. Do it. Let's have some fucking fun. And then we don't have to worry about it anymore, the quarterback position. Lamar Jackson would be the biggest star in New York in a long time. If he has at least 2 or 3 great years, it'd just be insane.
Not like Rodgers insane.
I disagree because Rodgers is going to be a flash in the pan, quick year, and then he's done. And you know what I mean? And that's it. And he's not going to be our guy. He's a mercenary. And Lamar Jackson would have a chance to be our guy and develop into the face of the franchise forever. Aaron Rodgers making a run, like at least you got to get me to the Super Bowl for it to be a success. You want to win the Super Bowl? I want to win the Super Bowl, but I haven't tasted that. Get me in that game or get me to the AFC Championship game. Let me be in the game for once in my life in these AFC Championship game. Not a fake 10-0 lead at the end of the first half. Not like, oh, you were down, we make it a comeback, and if they tackle Mendenhall, we might win. No, get me in the game where I'm like, holy shit, we're going to the Super Bowl, and then it's a success. Get me to that moment.
I will say
until then.
I will say this. When Durant requested the trade to Phoenix, that was mercenary behavior.
Yep. Well, I told you he was a mercenary from the start. They didn't want to hear it. Mercenaries. Mikal Bridges, not a mercenary. He loves it. Obi Toppin, not a mercenary. No. Jalen Brunson, not a mercenary. He signed a long-term deal, and he wants to be here. And that's it.
He does. Well, so you know what?
Trade. Yeah.
This has been Bad Weather Fans, episode 162. Nets right now is the 5 seed, the Knicks seed, but congrats to the Knicks who clinched the 5 seed last week. They'll be playing the Cavs in the first round. Nets trying to hold off the Heat to be the 6 seed. If they can, they'll face the Sixers, which I think would be a lot of fun. Alex, another great episode 162. Don't forget, everybody, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple, give those 5 stars. Leave a comment. If you want to check out the YouTube version, why the fuck not? Go to YouTube, see us there. You can see the Bad Weather Fans logo. You can see Alex, who does not have his virtual New York City logo up right now.
It's right there.
Check it up. Bad Weather Fans. This is going to be a great final stretch. So much going on with the Nets and Knicks. tongue in cheek I am before, but they're in a battle. They're in a good quest for the 5, the 6. We'll see what happens.
March Madness too coming up.
Oh, good point, Alex. Thank you for that. Yes, we did create a Bad Weather Fans March Madness bracket. Check it out. It's in the show notes page. Have fun with that. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the show, but forgot. And I blame my producer, which is something a host would have said because I was working at CBS.
Leon, blame Leon the cat. It's Leon the cat's fault.
No, love Leon. Alex, I've been rambling there for a minute, but thank you, brother, as always. And we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.